Also, you didn't test my mic.
You just have one of those little kid mics, like those big plastic ones with the shaky things in them. It echoes. Yeah.
Oh, would you mind taking your phone off the table?
Yeah.
Oh,
in case it vibrates.
It was staticky as fuck.
Oh.
Okay,
the
all right.
frequency. Haven't you heard about frequency before?
Yeah, haven't you seen Angels and Airwaves before?
That's why you need lavender oil.
Baby, you're my angle.
Oh no.
All right, here, talking to that thing again.
Yes. Is that good?
Pull it up. See if you can pull it up a little bit. There we go.
Yep.
ABC for me.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
He just said ABC.
We didn't need the whole thing.
We get it. You know the alphabet.
Fucking overachiever. All right, I'm so excited.
Wow.
You know why I'm excited?
No.
Because this is the first time I've ever done this. Hi, April.
Hi, Chris.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. How was your week?
It was pretty good. Pretty chill. Pretty lazy.
What are we at? Wednesday?
Yep.
Midweek.
Yep.
Do you have trouble getting over that hump when you're at the samurai sword making factory?
Yep. Yep, that hump always gets me.
You know what? Actually, I do have something to talk to you about. We did a podcast together not too long ago. Mm-hmm. Still reigning champ. This is 5th appearance.
Heavyweight champion.
I don't have much else going on.
We did that podcast with Keenan, and it was mayhem.
Absolutely. It was just Ryan really got it right when he was like, it was like the Eric Andre show, and you guys were Eric Andre, and we were just Hannibal Buress, just sitting there, just like whack.
That actually is the vibe.
Yeah.
After I've gone back to try and edit it, it hasn't gone super well, but that's okay. There's some funny moments. My favorite is that at the very end, because I turn the audio off, and you can see me getting up to turn the cameras off. Mm-hmm. As soon as I get up, Kim puts the mic to her forehead and goes, "He's gonna divorce me," which I am.
Oh.
And I have, actually. And now April and I are... Bring that down a little bit more. It moves sometimes.
No, I moved because I was trying not to.
Okay, well, I mean,
breathe
don't do
into
that.
the mic.
Anyways, all right.
Oh.
Are you ready for a song, April?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's Drew Hehir and I'm gonna kiss his face. Don't be scared. Please put away that bass. 'Cause he's Drew from outer space. From outer space.
Wow, that was really good.
That's my dream.
I liked it.
Love Elvis Presley.
Oh my God.
Is that who you...
I know, yeah.
You son of a so-and-so. That was a good one. Some of that. Drew,
Hey, man.
I'm so excited that you're here.
I'm so excited to be here.
Man, I have so many things I want to talk about. I'm going to start off with this. I met you at Terminal when I think it was called Weird Beard.
Lack of beards.
Lack of beards.
Yeah.
There we go. Lack of beards. And Doima drove me there back when he was still wearing that plaid. You know, it was like a couch that he had turned into a suit jacket.
The suit jacket that was meant to be on like a crime scene investigation show.
Right.
But just the furniture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a very good description. But I saw you, and Doima had brought you Doritos and cheese.
Yeah, I was probably pretty high.
And you were so happy. You were so appreciative.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember telling people from then on, every time that somebody would bring your name up or I would bring your name up, it was always, oh, man, Drew's the sweetest. Mm-hmm. He's the most lovable dude. So that's all I've ever known of you is that you're just the most lovable human being
I don't know
until
Okay.
I finally saw a shift. And I believe I know why that shift is because you had a tumultuous journey to Illinois.
Oh, yeah. Yesterday. 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Whatever day.
I think it was 2 days ago.
Awful enough.
Yeah, super awful.
I didn't like it.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, Drew Hehir is a comedian, so let's...
Oh, thank you. Stop it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. No,
He's a comedian at a holiday gas station in Fargo.
Mm-hmm. I'm not, though. But
I think you are.
I'm better than just your average holiday comedian. All right.
Would you say you're quick trip material?
Oh, dude. I'd say Casey's. If you've heard of Casey's, that's where I'm doing the stand-up.
All
Should've
right,
stayed
buddy,
at
calm
Quick Trip,
down.
yeah.
Now, yeah, I think when I met you, you were already talking about Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's been over a year, right? In the works of.
Yeah. Yeah. The plan is to move there for a year and work on my German proficiency. However, I don't know. I went to Chicago to do the visa application. When I got there, they said you didn't have to do all this. And I was like, well, that's really cool. And then they said it would be better if I just went to Germany, found a job, and then went to like the alien immigration office or something like that.
Jesus.
Yeah. It was a big waste of time. I'm real upset about it.
Ugh. And see, this is the shift that I'd never seen this side of you, and I felt horrible about it. Have you
been mad all my life? Yeah. It's for the majority of it.
I was gonna say I've never seen genuine anger in you, and I've seen you in some not so fun situations before.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Nice.
how have you been coping with what the fuck you went through, man? Because did you drive to Illinois by yourself?
Yeah. It was like a 7-hour drive, which I don't mind driving. Driving is super relaxing for me, and I'm good at it, so I don't mind. But to Chicago, I didn't know what to expect. They had the worst traffic.
Oh, you never been to Chicago?
Never been to Chicago. I was supposed to stay with a buddy, and I went to a mic out in Chicago, and I had introduced myself to the hosts, two hosts, before the show started. Told them I was from out of town. I'm only here for one night. And they were like, yeah, we'll get you up. It's like a lucky bucket draw or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And I got up third to last. So I drove for 7 hours, got into Chicago, went straight to this mic at 7:45, and I sat there until 10:30 when I went up. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I would have liked to see other mics and try out Chicago a little bit. And then afterwards, I'm heading to my buddy's house, and I get there, and I'd been calling him on the way, and he wasn't answering. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So I'm waiting outside of his place for 20 minutes, and he's still not answering. I was like, well, I really got to pee. So I ran to a gas station that was nearby, and I'm starting to lose the grip. You know what I mean? I'm about to start peeing my pants. I was like, hey, man, do you have a bathroom? He's like, no. I was like, what? So I ran outside, and as I'm pulling my junk out, I started peeing before it was out. So I half peed my pants, and then I went to a rest stop where I changed my pants in the car.
Sure.
And I'm talking to my mom on the phone.
Did you suck the pee out of your pants before you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I made sure they were dry before.
Good.
Thrown in the back of the car. But I was waiting at this rest stop. This car comes like cruising in, like pulls up next to me, and the guy and girl in the other car, they're like, roll your window down. So I roll my window down. I was like, what's up? And they're like, can you do me a huge favor? And I was like, what? And they're like, go pick up my sister from the hospital. I was like, who are you? No. But now I wonder if I would have just been like, well, what's in it for me? I could have probably gotten something. Chicago,
Blowjobs, most definitely.
Dude, blowjobs for sure.
That's probably what put her in the hospital in the first place. Just give
Dude,
her too
those
many
Windy
blowjobs.
City
What kind of a
BJs.
blowjob?
Windy City BJs are fucking out of this world.
So I regret not going along with it. But
That is.
I was already so
insane.
angry. You know, I was anally angry, bro. I peed my pants. I was at a place I didn't know. Some guys asking me favors I don't want to do.
Could have been, that his sister was coked up.
But they pulled
dropped her
up in a car. Why couldn't
That's
they
what I'm
just
thinking.
gone and get it? Like, we can't. Can
We
you?
really got it.
They
We're
were-
busy. We got a thing.
Our house is 10 minutes the other way.
That is
They
wild.
were
I
all
was
over
going to
the
ask
place.
if it was like a shameless scenario where like they're just reaching out to anybody.
Mm-hmm. Could have been.
I was hoping it was some white trash Chicagans.
But then they just like pulled into a different spot and sat there. I was like, couldn't you ask other people? Like, it sounds like a pretty heavy moment. You have to go get your sister.
Obviously eating
Nothing happened.
Doritos and nacho cheese, not giving a fuck about this guy's sister.
Mm-mm.
God damn, that's horrible.
Yeah.
I want you to know that I love you, Drew.
I love you too, bro.
I'm sorry that you went through that shit.
It's just Chicago, man. I don't know. I keep saying I don't like Chicago, but it was pretty. It was a pretty city.
Yeah.
Like, if there wasn't traffic and people asking me to do stuff for them, it'd be the best city in the world.
Now, I'm interested in this part about you because I have noticed this about you is that, like, as long as you're feeling that people respect you and they're worth going out of your way for, like, you do that. Thank you, by the way.
I don't know. I
Did that come from like were your parents super like outgoing? You know what I mean, like altruistic and
Auschwitz.
is it not altruistic?
Auschwitz.
Altruistic, right?
Altruistic.
Auschwitzistic. Yeah.
Auschwitz.
Auschwitz
lit kid.
Auschwitz lit kid. Bro.
Auschwitz is lit kid.
I guess you could just call me an Auschwitz lit kid. I don't know. But no, I don't know. My mom's nice. My dad was nice. I don't know how giving they were, but I kind of just know that I've had more stuff than other people.
Okay.
And if I have extra, why not just have some? I don't know. I'm not gonna like if someone asks for cigarettes. You know, if I have enough, I'm not gonna say no. But if it comes down to one, I ask them. I'm like, "Are you willing to take my last cigarette?" And if anyone says yeah, I go, "Oh, you're a piece of shit." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I still let them have it. It's just now I know they're a piece of shit.
You let him have it, and then afterwards, you fucking
You
let him
let
have
him
it.
have it.
Yeah, we were on the same page. Good job.
Nice.
We seem of a similar vibe where it was easy to make friends growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be a fair assessment?
I would say so. I mean, I got beat up sometimes too, but
Yeah, I mean, didn't we all?
yeah. But like by your niece.
By my niece?
Yeah, I have a niece who's like a year younger than me, and like a nephew who's like 5 years older than I am, and like my.
Did you say a nephew that's 5 years older than you?
Yeah.
My niece
Yeah.
is 7 years younger than me. She still beat me up.
Yeah, they definitely beat.
Our niece can beat us.
Yeah.
in
Hey,
arm
if you
wrestling.
could not whisper, I'd really appreciate it.
Try not to interrupt. I guess I'm just.
You're doing just fine.
You're just interrupting
You
everything.
chose to interrupt.
And
You got to
not
commit.
saying
You
anything
want
anyone
the
can
golden
hear.
or do you
You're
want another
gonna
White Claw?
interrupt,
Whichever.
commit.
So
During this downtime, mine and April's niece
I'll do
can
a
beat us
McGolden.
both in arm wrestling, and she was 12 at the time.
Thanks, man.
And there you go.
were you just saying your niece beat the shit out of you?
She could if she wanted to.
You
She
said it
knows
was
she
a
holds the
7-year
power.
difference.
Yeah.
So when you were 19, she beat you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like 24. Yeah.
Yeah. Fresh in rugby.
Yep.
She played flag football, man, and she's fucking strong.
Wow.
Flag football QB.
QB? That's legit.
Number 13 on the field, number 1 in our hearts.
Now, this is the first time that you two have been on at the same time, right?
Other than the party podcast.
Right, the party podcast. That video turned out very bad. That was
no.
The podcast was great.
yeah,
I
the
love it.
audio was
Actually, it was
fantastic.
okay. Yeah, it was funny.
Actually, my favorite part is an interaction between you two,
What do we do?
which is you have Missy. You have this tone. It's
Bitchy.
No. It's very comical. Like in this interaction. So somebody made a burn. Remember when Missy was hot? And everybody was like, ugh. And then we were moving on, and then you can hear you like faintly. That would imply that she was hot, though. And then you. All right, we get it. It's like this.
I remember that moment. Like, that's the joke.
It sounds so fucking funny partly because I know your sister, so it's like that aspect, and then I have like this thing. Kim knows it, which is that I love a good scream. So like, especially during a comedy set, like Nick Swartzen has a lot of them. Mm-hmm. It's this type of comedic yell that you do, and that's what that reminded me of. The way.
Frustrated growl.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Kill Tony? Okay, fair enough.
We've had William Montgomery on the show.
Oh, right. I remember you.
Fucking idiot.
I saw that.
Doors over there.
I was gonna say William Montgomery is one of the best comedic yells. Just amazing.
Yes. And that is actually 100% true. I love when he screams. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
God damn, that was pretty good. I wish we still did the Josh Otremba. We used to do you know Josh Otremba?
I feel like I know the name.
He's famous amongst the St. Cloud comedians, but
He's known amongst the St. Cloud
how dare you.
comedians.
Wow.
You know what all St. Cloud comedians say about him? Is that
He's
he
better than
shines,
Missy.
he shines during roasts.
Yeah, he is.
That
He's a
guy can
roaster.
write roasts like nobody's business. It's fucking crazy.
Oh yeah. I
It's
can't
very
do
good.
that.
We used to do a segment called Sick Burns, where we would look at the other people on the show.
Fat.
That's not how it works, you fuck.
Sure it is.
She got me though. I mean,
But so Kim and I would like realize it was after your and Max's roast that I learned that I just am obsessed with roasts. I think it's the most fun thing.
Yeah.
And so we decided to drunkenly try and make fun of each other on an episode. It was really funny to listen to later. And so then we started integrating guests. And Kim and I were doing it at each other. And Josh was the guest. And he goes, sick burn. And then I like deepened his voice and made like, sick burn. It was fucking incredible. But then it got to be too much because I make fun of people so much now.
Oh, no.
Oh, like, you look like...
Don't do it.
Do it.
All right, I'm not
No,
gonna,
all right.
I'm just kidding.
to
I am
Missy,
going to
do it
do
to
it.
All right, please.
redirect.
What I was
Redirect.
If you're
going to
say
say was...
Screech or Corey Matthews, forget about it.
Corey Matthews.
Yeah, from Boy Meets World.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I said that last night.
Oh, fair. Yeah. that one makes more sense than Screech, I think.
I think it makes way more sense. Your hair isn't even that curly.
Oh, I mean, if I let it go, it is. Like, I cut it just before coming back down this way, and it was pretty round. I had a full lion mane around my head. It was great.
Oh, I love it. Now,
That's why I
what
cut
I
it.
was
Get
going
outta
to say was you look like Joe Cocozello on sodium. Like a lot of sodium.
Yeah, all right. I've gained some weight. What do you?
I was going to say you look like a D-list actor trying to get the part of Wolverine.
Yo, I am the
Good.
D-list actor that would get the part as Wolverine.
Oh.
which is the-
Yeah,
is
in
the
like
difference.
a porn parody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
that's
But then
even more
after-
accurate.
You're porn parody Wolverine.
Dude,
That's what you
and
are.
then like after the first scene, they'd still fire me. They're like, "Yeah, it was a thanks for coming out, but we got
We're
someone
not
else."
believing it.
Also, you came 3 times before we turned the cameras on.
I was just
And we
trying to
still
hold
don't
it together,
believe
and
it.
I couldn't.
You just apologize after you
I'm sorry.
climax.
I'm
every
sorry.
time.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry, do we have to do another take? Sorry, sorry.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, I'd be really.
That
bad.
does raise a good question.
Yeah,
How old are you?
I'm 26.
26. Could you ever see yourself being in the adult film industry?
Have you ever had sex?
Ooh, good question.
Not to completion. For anybody
To who? Yeah, I was
involved.
gonna say,
For
which
anybody
part?
involved. No, I guess a long time ago, an ex-girlfriend and I did like make a amateur video.
Really? Was there
it
a
was pretty
theme?
good.
Were there props?
No, the theme was
Have sex.
The
I
theme
just-
was get a nut.
I just laid on top of her for 50 minutes, and that was the whole thing. I just laid there, and that was
man.
it. No,
I could
yeah.
never do. I would not want to see myself on film.
Yeah, no, it was a
doing
really-
that.
it was
I'd
a
be like,
really
ew,
good
no.
video.
I once
Here's-
had, yeah.
I can't even look at like a picture of myself half the time.
I once
Like,
had a boyfriend who wanted to have a GoPro on his head, like while
oh
we didn't. I was
no!
Hilarious.
It'd just be like a downward angle of your face, like.
See, that's the funny thing is it's for your part. Like your partner is like, I can't believe I get to see like my favorite view of this person. Like, so it's not so much you, because you guys know I love taking pictures of Kim Duke. One time,
Don't we all?
she wanted to turn the camera on me for some things, and when I saw them, horrified, absolutely horrified. But she was like, "This is dope." She said it just
Nah,
like
she
that.
was
You just
This
bragging.
Fucking
No, she was
She's
she
like,
was into
you're
it.
so hot. Oh my god.
But yeah, I feel like if you're the one that looking at the angles, as they say,
Yeah.
it's never like you can't. That I think that's why they're professionals, right? They know how to be in those angles and have it
Look
look
hot.
flattering.
Yeah.
It is gotta be tough.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like the hair thing is always really weird because they always have like
Right.
you've ever seen a blowjob scene, they always like move her hair out of the way for the camera, but that means like for them they're just seeing a big ball of hair.
Oh,
You know, but like in
interesting.
real life, I feel like it's the opposite way.
That's
Wow,
a
I never
good
thought about
point.
that.
Wait, where? What do you mean? Where?
Am I looking too?
I know
into
what you're
these
saying. So
videos?
you're saying
They, like,
I get
pull
the
her
angle.
hair back over
So
her
the camera
shoulder?
guy's over here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And he does one of these and flops the hair all over here. But if you're getting all of it so you can see their proper profile,
Mm-hmm.
you are. This guy is just seeing because they're
It's
looking
just
into the
hair.
camera
Right.
all they're seeing is the top of their head.
Unless it's, of course, a POV video, which are
One of
arguably
them-
the better ones.
One of them povs, as
You're
they say.
losing me.
You'll see in the cinematography world, that is the point of view. So that the viewer feels as though they're the one having coitus and or fellatio performed on them.
No, I was confused. What's a blowjob?
I should clarify. I was lost before.
Yeah. We're gonna have to back it up a bit more.
Speaking of backing it up a bit more,
Hey.
let's go back. How did you get into comedy, young sir?
Oh, dude. All right. So, like, in school, I was always, like, the class clown
Class Jew.
kind of thing. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. My name was Drew Hehir throughout high school. So people
Like
easily
Jew
said...
hair.
No, they called me douchebag. It's very different. No, but yeah, it was Jew hair, and I was like,
Did they really call you Jew hair?
a lot of the time, I'm not even Jewish. I mean, everyone assumes I am, and I think it's because of my nose and my hair and my
Sorry, it's not
my
funny.
greed. But that
I think your cadence and lack of Minnesotan accent is what made me think you were Jewish.
wow,
Wait, you're Jewish?
I'm not.
Oh.
That's what we were discussing. Is what I thought.
Like
it
when I
was.
first went on stage, I think one of my bits was that I wasn't Jewish. I'm Drewish, and it was real dumb.
Didn't go
But
well.
no, I
Let's stop being
I was a
anti-Semitic
killer,
for a little
right?
bit.
Pretty Jewy guy, Drew, huh? Pretty sure. No, I was always like class clown. I liked stand up. I never really thought of it as being like a thing I was ever able to get into. Like I thought it was like, oh, you have to be born in the Hollywood Hills and wake up on a stage and become like, I didn't know.
Interesting.
And then when I was 20, I was on acid with a bunch of friends, and I was just goofing. And one friend was like, "Hey, you should try stand-up comedy." I was like, "You think so?" And he was like, "Yeah, really." And then for the next 8 hours, all I could think about was like, "Really?" So then I tried it, and it was bad. But I caught the bug, and I've been doing it since.
You got HPV, and then you're like, I'm going to do this from now on.
Pretty much.
I love it. What?
Burp into the mic.
That was just
They're just-
releasing
yeah,
pressure.
Just air.
That's
There's no
Yeah,
noise.
that's why I keep
what
doing the same thing.
what I noticed about you, and so kind of the culmination of like why I wanted to have you on here so bad was that photo shoot that we did for Awful Service podcast
Oh yeah, what
in
a
the
podcast.
basement of
Bob's Bunker,
Bob's Bunker.
or
There we go.
what is it? Something tavern.
I don't know. But I had the greasiest fucking sausage and egg sandwich I've ever had in my goddamn life.
Was it good though?
insane. It was really
Yeah, I feel like grease really does add a taste to it, so it's fine.
But one thing I started to realize about you guys is when I was taking photos of you guys and somebody else, the rest of you were waiting, it was so theater kid like. Like all of you have that spotlight, not that you think it deserves to be on you, but you're willing to be in the spotlight type of vibe. And you guys are all so good at having wordy jokes, very wordy jokes.
Oh, I don't
Like especially your fucking Sally.
seashell bit.
Yeah, the
It's
seashell
so
bit.
dumb. It's so
But
dumb.
here's the thing, is that you can do it every time. You can bang out. That's so many words. If you were to write it down, that's a fucking long
There's
page.
a couple
of,
pages there.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's intense.
I still hate it.
So, did you?
I mean, it's fun for me, but if I don't think anyone else is having fun, it makes me feel really bad about
But
it.
don't you? Yeah, don't you think that like you're like people have like what they think you're gonna talk about when you're on stage, right? You go up with a tie-dye shirt and khaki shorts. People are like,
That's how I
know
started.
what this guy's about.
That's how it started. Yeah, pretty good.
And they're like, yeah, we know he's gonna do some hacky sack jokes, talk about weed, and then you bang out that seashell joke, and people just lose their fucking minds.
No, it's pretty funny. The most often after I tell that joke and I get off stage and the host goes back up, there you go. It's more impressive to know how high he is, and he can still do that.
Yeah, that too.
I don't know. I mean, I think I'm usually high, but that I don't know if I'm like ever so high that I'm like I can't do it. I can't do it. I stumbled on it once, and it was the only time I've ever stumbled on it, and I just stopped.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
You just gave up on the bit?
Yeah, it was like halfway through, and I said the wrong part at the wrong time, and there's so many S's. I was just like, yeah,
That is a lot to.
we're done with it.
Damn, that's wild shit. Now, Missy, I don't know if you've ever thought about doing comedy, but when it comes to writing,
Don't think I'd be much good at it.
no, you know what? Actually, let's do this real quick. You two know each other.
No.
Oh.
How did you
I'd
guys
rather
meet?
not.
Oh.
Did you guys meet at like a frat party?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think a
okay.
frat party.
No, I was a groupie at the House of Comedy competition.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. What was that, like a year ago, 2 years ago?
No, like
No, it was,
2-3 months. 3.
yeah, I failed.
You
I
guys
lost
just
it, dude.
fucking met?
Yeah.
Yeah,
3-4
like a while
months
back.
ago.
Was it?
Oh,
only that
shit, I didn't know
long
that.
ago?
Whenever it was.
Because it was before August.
Yeah,
So
because it
had
was
to be-
before July
So
and other months.
you've been carrying his baby for 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Only 3? Wow, I
Little tight.
thought I was out by now. That's
That's
crazy.
so crazy. I didn't know that you were at one of those. Who was competing your night?
I don't know.
It was Andrew
Rita,
Witzel.
Rita
Oh.
Witzel. I don't know. I went over my time. When I saw a light, I thought it was the first light. It was the second light.
Yeah. Oh, he got his mic cut off.
Dude, it was dumb. But I think I did pretty well by shitting my pants and getting off the stage. It was great. It was great.
Dude, I always forget this lady's name, but my night, who's that older? No. Who's ready
No.
for our favorite segment? My favorite segment.
Snacks.
It's called
Snacks.
Off the Noggin.
Oh.
Sounds like my kind of thing.
Yes, Off the Noggin.
Snacks. Oh.
Okay, so we have a segment on here called Off the Noggin. And what I do is I say a topic, and actually Kim Duke jumps in sometimes too. So April McGuckin, if you have a topic that you'd like to throw at Drew, look at his face real quick. Okay, I want you to think about something, because if mine sucks, I'm going to rely on you
Okay.
to throw something at him. So you can make a joke about it or just complain about the thing. But what I'm going to throw at you is Toyota Corollas.
Impressive.
Oh.
That's what I'll first say. I feel like next to those box Scion cars is like the most customizable car.
Oh.
However, it's always driven by a douchebag, so I don't know. What can I really say? I don't drive a Toyota.
What do you drive?
A Cadillac now. Yeah, it was my great uncle's.
That's hot.
And then
I was going to say a fancy
he
Cadillac or a dumper.
a nice one, yeah.
That's pretty swanky looking
Yeah,
car.
he died to give me the car.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm. I
he
mean,
literally.
yeah, he died and I got it.
Oh, I thought he was like,
Yeah, I killed
You
him
should
for it, but
have
it's very
this.
different. Please take the car.
yeah.
I would have taken it.
Oh, well, you know what? Since we got 2 comics on here, let's do 2 topics. Missy, anything on Toyota Corollas?
Do the back seats fold down? To
Jesus Christ.
Then,
You're
no,
losing
I don't
it.
have anything.
No.
Jesus.
That does make me think of, though, Robert has that joke about like moms getting stuck in things is like a genre of porn. Like trapped
I've
in
seen
their
it
beds and stuff.
in the sink. Yep, under the bed.
Is
Yep.
that
Under
a
the
genre?
sink.
And yeah, people just getting stuck in the sink. They're like, man, I was trying to get my wedding ring, and man,
And then,
This
Let
guy
me help
can't
you.
even
Oh
fuck
no,
my
my
butt.
penis is stuck inside of you now.
the whole
no.
porno starts and he's like, oh no, I'm stuck, and then it's just like a regular movie about a guy whose dick is stuck, and they do regular stuff. They just keep doing.
Yeah, there's not
life.
enough-
That sounds hot.
I don't
No, pretty
understand
good.
kids these days.
that was a weird sound.
Ghosts for sure.
Ghosts for sure. Halloween is coming up. Speaking of Halloween coming up, Missy, have you thought about what you want to be for Halloween this year?
Yeah, I think at least I've got one. Me and my best friend want to be cat dog.
That's a good
Nice.
But it's hard because she doesn't have a best friend, so
The-
it's just gonna be her.
So I've been trying. It's just gonna be me and my cat outfit,
Yeah.
with a little dog trailing behind.
No, you and your cat. Lily's just
yeah.
the other part, dragging her along.
No, yeah. So what we were planning on doing. This was my idea, by the way. I'm gonna take credit for it. But yeah, no, because I mean, all you have to do is you buy 2 shirts, you know, and then you connect it with the fabric. And
Yeah,
now
we
you're a
understand.
Cat dog. Did you?
How are you gonna connect it with Velcro?
Here. Here's what we really need to
Probably.
talk about. Have you guys ever gotten into like an actual fist fight before?
I wish.
Yeah.
I mean, not like
I punched
punching.
April in the face once.
When?
Sometime. All I know is you left the house. I was really mad, and I think you had stolen something of mine. You left the house, and
Sounds
I was
about
like,
right.
that bitch. And then you came back, and I was like, you bitch. Because I was like, now's my
It was
time.
probably literally like that. Like,
I know, but it was kind of one of those things where as soon as I did it, I realized how like wrong I was, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, maybe not like punch like fist fight, but definitely physical altercations.
Do you guys
I
do
mean,
like
she
Muay
used to-
Thai or what kind of?
No,
it's
I
not
mean,
she
I've
fist
been
used to-
fight.
dragged down the stairs by my hair before by April.
Yes, she used to chase me around the house with a butcher knife.
Not used to. One time.
Okay, but
But it happened all the time.
I ran upstairs and ran into my room and locked the door like right in the nick of time.
That did not.
Yes, it did.
Okay, she's literally
And
making
we
this up.
had
This
a
didn't happen.
no. I remember, and
No,
we had a
this didn't
lock
happen.
where
She
like.
pulled out a gun.
Well, no, we had a lock where I had to hold it, because you could like open it from the outside. So I had to hold it, and then I see the knife stabbing from under the door. Like she almost slit
I swear
my
to God
ankle.
that didn't
I
happen.
swear to God it did
There's
happen.
no way it did. I don't remember
Well,
that.
you don't have a good memory, and I
No,
do.
I.
People do tend to like block out.
Also,
their,
one time
like,
when we were on a family
violent
vacation,
really
Missy
know, but I
scratched
also
a
really
chunk
don't
out of
think
my
that I did that.
skin and then offered me my skin back.
Well, did you get it back?
No, I didn't.
For a price.
Yeah,
Threw it in the lake.
we've definitely
You'll never
got
see this
into
again.
like
Oh, what else?
wrestling, hair pulling altercations.
Dude.
But they've also
Dragging down the stairs.
Yeah, dragging down the stairs. They also used to do this fun thing where they would hold both my
They.
ankles up.
Mm.
I have 3 older sisters. They'd hold my ankles up like this while I'm on the ground, so I'm sitting up with my legs in a V. Then they push their ball of their foot into my vagina, so I can't reproduce.
Oh, kids.
Wow. Oh, wow, that's how it works.
You know how
They
kids
squished
do.
your balls.
Yes, my lady
Yeah.
balls.
Yep.
Very hard.
I will say, in terms of that whole knife thing, my youngest brother chased us with a baseball bat and has no memory of it. But myself and my older brother, because we were fucking with him, and he has rage problems. Now it's very passive and like scary because he plots instead of like.
Nice.
He's gotten smart about
Yeah,
his
yeah.
dubious behavior. Yeah.
So he would do things like my little brother would do things like he'd get upset at something, right? My mom would like say, "All right, no Xbox for 2 days," and then the next morning she'd be like, "Where are my keys? Where am I? Does anybody see my car keys?
No.
That's
I have to go to work right now. Where are my keys?"
Where's my Xbox?
And then no, he was
He's a
so
sociopath
committed.
for sure.
You're like, that's crazy. It's too
Sociopath.
bad."
That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a sociopath,
For sure.
but he's
A good one.
yeah, he's a good one. He would hide these things, right?
Mhm.
And then at the last minute, they would just appear. And the same thing would happen every time. Somebody would go, "Oh, they've been here the whole time. They've just been right here. I've passed it 1,000 times." And then my little brother would go, "Well, that's weird." And that was it.
That's
He
cool
wouldn't
as
push it
fuck.
anymore. It got a little more aggressive as he got older. Like my dad found a
Dead possum in his bed.
7.5 of vodka in my brother's room, and he poured it out in the sink. And my dad gets up at like 5 in the morning to go on jogs every day. You gotta stop chewing on yourself.
Stop.
The dad in me is coming out. I'm sorry, but also we have cameras now.
Okay.
You've been on when it's just audio. Anyways, take 2. So my dad gets up, jogs 5 in the morning. He's been doing it ever since he was like 24, something like that.
Jesus.
And so he takes my brother's 7.5 of vodka, pours it in the sink, and then in the morning goes to put on his running shoes, and they're soaking wet. And instead of confronting his son about it, he just ran in those wet shoes.
That's cool as hell.
And because he was like, kids, comes back, puts on his work shoes. Those are wet too. My brother poured water in all of my dad's shoes.
It's so funny. It's awful. But it's so funny.
Yeah, it's just fucked.
Yeah, I'm gonna make the call. Definitely a sociopath.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just knows
I mean,
where
I've
to
told
get
you guys that story about the sociopath. I'm realizing that now. I had to cut that whole story out, but woof.
Fun.
I think he might be a serial killer, actually.
Huh?
It'd make more sense.
I could see him
Give him a reason.
burying bodies at a a disc golf course
Oh fuck!
and like laughing at random holes, and people are like, "What's so funny?"
Huh?
Nothing.
I just I accidentally threw my disc way over there. Don't worry, I can find it alone. Thanks.
And he just spits on the mark where he knows he buried that person.
pees on it every time.
Shit. So, anyways, we do have another segment on this show.
Snacks?
No.
Oh.
I wanted you to say it so that I could say it's something else. I want to do sick burns again.
Oh, no.
Because it didn't go very well the first time.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna go better.
Yeah.
Let's just do Missy. Everyone, all at once.
Missy, you look like you have late set autism that was brought on by eating potpourri.
I don't know what potpourri is.
The little stuff, the little decorative
That you put-
confetti
yeah.
stuff that kind of smells. You put it in
Potpourri.
dishes. And
Yeah.
stuff.
It's potpourri.
Oh, my bad.
Potpourri.
Okay, Drew, now your turn.
Oh.
Pick an assailant.
Yeah. Targets in.
April,
Go on.
what do you got?
I don't have anything.
Lies.
I'm not good at being mean to people.
This is going really
I am,
well.
but it's
I'm
just
good at-
mean.
I'm-
Like
I was
it's not
saying,
a
I'm-
burn.
Yeah.
I'm like, fat, ugly, stupid. You know.
Yeah, I can be.
Yay! I win.
I can be salty. I can't be mean.
That does make sense. Because, do you get upset when you realize that you're harboring feelings towards somebody or something? Like, do you have that inner monologue to be like, I hate that I'm upset about this? Does that make sense?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Like, I wish this person was better so that I didn't feel this way towards them, rather than saying they're just a piece of shit in general.
No. I prefer just to call him a piece of shit.
Well, good.
But like, I don't know. It's not often that it comes up. Like, there are people in my past where I hope are dead, but like, they're probably not, and that's just fine too.
I have
That's a Minnesota passive aggressive bullshit. You're like, I hope they're dead, but if they're not, that's fine.
Good for them. I hope
Yeah.
they're doing better than they
Well,
were.
then
Like,
I guess so. That's okay.
I do
Jesus.
have one person that it's the only person that I have ever said and still don't feel bad about saying that I. Which is insane.
Look at his wife.
Look at my wife. I
got a
literally
very
have
attractive
prints of her in my office. He wishes he could fuck my wife, but no.
Don't we all?
Yeah, I think that's just an everyone thing.
I don't know your wife enough. Sorry.
She's pretty great.
Look at her. I mean,
I mean,
You'll wanna
yeah, but
fuck
if
her
you're
eventually.
banging people based on looks, that's not healthy.
But-
no, you're right. You're right.
Do you have anybody that you harbor feelings towards that they have no idea?
He's looking
Maybe.
around the room. He's like,
You know
Like,
what I
I
mean?
don't I don't know. Even when people have done me wrong, I don't know. I
You
get
don't
angry
hang on
about
to
it, but I try to just release it. I don't need that. I don't need
What do you
those
do
feelings.
to like get rid of that, to shake that that anger? You know what I mean? Because there are some not nice people when you're
there's
going.
a lot of shit people, dude. A lot of shit people, and there are always gonna be shit people. And I think come to terms with that is a good way to start.
But what is it that you do to come to terms?
I come.
Okay.
I just jerk out.
I
and
come
then
to terms. with it.
I come and then I go, fine, everything's fine. But no, I don't know. I don't do anything special.
No?
I don't
Celebrate
think-
it.
But
I
it
don't- I
might
don't
seem
think, you know?
special to us.
Do you have any rituals? Burning of garments and
No,
Sage, lavender.
I don't know. I have a lot of my own,
Chamomile.
like, I don't know if it's self-delusion things where I think everyone hates me all the time. So I,
Really?
not delusion.
I think everyone. Missy.
Okay.
I know that
everyone
you
has
said that she
that a
was
little
the
bit.
bitch, but that was really harsh. That was really harsh.
Missy's a bitch.
No,
Are we not selling sick burns?
but yeah, I don't know.
What?
I don't do anything. All I do is, well, I assume everyone hates me, so I go, well,
That's so interesting.
because they suck doesn't mean.
Has
that-
anyone ever said that they dislike you?
Me, I'll
Probably.
do it right now. Just kidding. Oh my god.
Why'd you invite them?
He didn't. It is the
wasn't invited.
She just
That's
showed
not
up.
true.
That is
Well,
true.
he told me yesterday that you were both gonna be here. So.
All right, good.
See?
And I was like, "Can we not do it then?"
Yeah, I was gonna say you really
And
should
he
have
was like,
backed
"Well, we're still gonna
out.
do it." And I was like, "All right, fine." Hit me up today. He was like, "All right, this is the address," and I was like, "It's gonna take me an hour and a half to get there." And he's like, "Yep." And I was like,
All right, I'm on my way over.
Oh no, am I one of those people that you're releasing your anger like
no,
in a
dude,
peaceful
what?
manner?
No, dude. If I was, I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. I can't. I got a big poop or something. I can't take it. No, dude. I really don't do anything special. And yes, I do have this weird delusion where I think everyone hates me all the time.
That's horrible.
It sucks. And I don't know how to fix that. Just it comes in waves, and I go, oh, people are acting like this because they hate my guts, and then really it could be something else. And eventually, I convince myself that it might not be my fault, so I just get high or something. I don't like.
I think that everybody has that delusion at some point. Like I think that everyone at times gets those thoughts where it's like, oh, did they do that because they're mad? Did they do that? Like, I think that's just a human.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, I'm
like-
sure there are definitely cases that are more strong.
I was going to say yours sounds heightened in that
Yeah.
do you feel like some of the times when you go above and beyond is to make sure that they don't dislike you?
I don't know. I think one thing I was like praised about when I was younger, I like hang around with like friends and family. Someone was like, I would like how you're not like a different person around these people. And I think I really pride myself on not changing for my environment. I try to stay who I am, but it's tough sometimes. Because especially if I think someone hates me, I back into myself more. Then when I'm alone with myself, I go, fuck, everyone hates me. It's not just this one person. It's everyone. Like and then I feel like when people are nice to me, I go, oh, they're just trying to hide the fact that they hate me. And I don't know.
And they
I
are.
never would have.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go, dude.
I can't believe I'm
I
married
can't
to this
believe it.
bitch. All right. No, I can't believe that you think that about yourself. Like I was saying at the beginning of this, I genuinely, it has never been anything but praise for the human being that you are. On top of my comedy boner for the fact that you can memorize so much dialogue in one bit is fucking crazy.
Nice.
Well, thanks, man. I need
I
that
genuinely
sometimes.
appreciate the living shit out of you. And every time you would see me, you would treat me like you've known me forever.
Well, I like you.
Well,
You know,
dude, I fucking like you.
I like everybody until they give me a reason not to, and then even then, I'll still be nice. I'm not gonna.
goddamn good people.
Dude.
That's what you are.
I do my best.
You know who's not good people?
A lot of people.
The
I mean, the
son of a
Olsen twins
bitch.
over here, or whatever.
Yay!
The Midwest Olsen twins. Now,
what
if
I
you
did. I
two
don't-
were going to murder your stepmom,
We don't have one.
Fucking hypothetical, you dumb bitch.
So we're gonna murder the real one.
if you were to try and grapple with the fact that you have severe literalism disease,
But I don't.
I think you just
Yeah,
Ironically-
you just she
Thank
doesn't
you.
even get it.
That's what. Okay, guys.
Okay, she's
Okay.
she bested it.
I'm meta.
oh, I see you fucking.
All right, continue on.
No, I was gonna say. No, I actually like that.
Were you gonna ask how we were gonna have that body?
So Eric marries some dumb blonde because your mom died tragically in a
Picks her up at the roller
snowmobile
rink.
accident.
Again.
That's a cool way to go.
She was gonna try and skip across the Mississippi River on her snowmobile, and a chunk of ice tipped her over, and then she died in the river.
She made it across just underneath. And
First
dead.
problem with the story, Mom doesn't do stuff.
Okay, she does.
Again,
In
literal.
this scenario, what do you want me to say? Your 17 cats murdered your mother.
That makes sense.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Believable.
Okay.
All the cats murder your mom. Your dad is like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And some blonde bimbo is like, I know what to do because you're going to be the next Tony Stark and I want that Iron Man money.
Ugh.
So she
I'm following.
marries your father.
We have to kill her.
And he can't hide his huge boner because your dad has a huge hog.
That's where he loses me
I've
again.
seen it
Good
bounce
for him.
around in those loose Levi jeans of his.
Can we focus on a different part
Sorry,
of
I
the
just
story?
get so distracted by your dad's giant dick.
Oh no.
Is it playing that big?
It's pretty big, actually.
It-
I have seen the imprint. Anyways, so your dad remarries.
Sure.
Yeah.
and you guys know that this bitch sucks and just wants your dad's money once he dies. How do you execute and
Cyanide.
Cut off her nipples, glue them to her eyeballs.
I don't know if it'll kill her.
Yeah, that's
Just leave her like that.
she's gonna wake up from a nap like I
Cut
left
off
my
a
contacts
nipple.
on again. Fuck.
Ever see that Unforgivable guy? Unforgivable. I don't know. Cut off the nipple. This is just something I hear in his voice.
Yeah,
Took out my
nice.
knife.
No,
Cut off
definitely
a nipple.
cyanide injected into melatonin pills so that she dies in her sleep and it looks like an accidental death and they have no
Ooh.
reason to look into it.
Because she clearly takes other pills, and they go, well, you see, she
Yeah.
mixed sleeping pills with her Xanax, and that's a no-go.
I want something in the ears. Like,
What, you're going to kill
I
her
feel
by
like you-
ear?
I feel like you'd want it
Yes.
to be personal, though.
You know how Kim Duke says that she would murder me if she had to?
I love that you've had this discussion.
Well, you gotta.
Insulin between the toes.
I also like that. The whole like injecting air into their bloodstream. That sounds
Air
badass.
into the bloodstream. If you're good and you know what to do, coroners don't look at every single appendage.
Right.
You could inject that shit anywhere.
Back of the kneecap.
Right in the butt crack.
Right in
They'll
the
never
crack.
look what coroners spreading cheeks.
Dude,
Oh, there's a big hole in the
Inside
back
his
here.
little penis fold, the urethra.
No, the penis fold, huh?
Inside the
Here's-
vagina. Up in there.
Here's how you trick Ryan. One night you just go, you know what? I am going to eat your ass.
He'd
And
be like,
so
what's wrong? What's wrong?
So
Something's
he
up.
gets on all fours and arcs forward, and then boom, you don't even have to. There's no restraint, right? Because there was like, well, there was a struggle because obviously they had marks on the wrist. No,
Right.
willing participant, and
Nice.
then the cops show up and he's ass up.
Dead.
Your parents' house. Oof.
That'd be
Sorry, I
cool.
didn't mean to take it such a dark way.
No, it's
I
fine.
love it.
I love thinking about killing people.
All right,
Or
great.
murder.
April,
Yes.
are you ready for our favorite segment?
Snacks!
3, 2, 1.
Snack.
That's when that happens. Drew, is your full name Andrew, by the way?
It is.
Gross.
In 6th grade, the teacher was like, Andrew, and I was like, yeah. And he was like, do you go by Andy or Drew? And I was like, let's try Drew for a year. And it stuck. And I've been Drew ever since.
I love it.
I wish a teacher ever asked me that question.
Would you
What
like
would you
to
say?
be
I never
called
got
May?
prompted. I don't know. Yeah.
I was just gonna
I
say.
knew it.
May is super original, guys.
Yeah, I haven't heard
You're
that
doing great.
every day of
All
my
right, whatever.
life.
December. Now,
Get out of here, Easter.
March.
Easter.
You fucking fool.
grab that
Good
bag.
Friday ass bitch.
I'd like you to read for the audience. What do you see there?
Quality since 1932. Sell by
Jesus.
12/28.
No, don't read that shit.
I'm just going for. Oh yeah, all right. Same great flavor.
What do you see?
Chicharrones, Max.
Just a bunch of
pork
racial
skins.
slurs.
It's a lot of the N word on this one. The regular package.
All right, give that back.
Oh no, I got it. All right. Is it chicharrones?
Chicharrones.
Chicharrones, pork skins, Max, barbecue flavored fried pork skins.
I love
Quality
pork
since
rinds.
1932. Same great flavor. Sell by 12/28/19. Established 1001.
My
B1.
birthday.
All right,
Oh,
give me that
have to be
back.
sold on my
Do you want me to read
birthday.
the back too?
So, Kim Duke's
The
favorite
sign.
part.
Oh, what?
April, go ahead and read those nutritional facts to us. What do we got going on?
Let's see. Serving size is half an ounce.
How
what
do you
is-
even?
Yeah, is that like one chip?
Does
Who
it not
even
give you
knows?
the estimate?
80 calories, 5 grams of fat, 2 grams of saturated fat, 290 milligrams of sodium in half an ounce of these things. Jesus Christ. But somehow 7 grams of protein.
Good enough.
So, like, eat a couple ounces. That's lunch.
That's from all the pig dick in this. Okay, I am not excited about this.
I
we
am. I
actually have to
love
eat some of
pork
this?
rinds.
So here's what we
Pork
do.
rinds are off.
I've never had a
So I
pork
don't know if
rind,
you
so-
knew about our snack segment, but what we do is we pick out a snack that we've never tried before. It already makes me want to throw up just smelling it.
Yep.
But everybody grabs one. We sniff. Nobody eats it yet, right? We got to do.
Okay, we gotta go through the system.
Why'd you do the eyebrow at me? I saw that.
Received nothing but hate.
Well, you're really asking for it. So
Hey, look at the way she's dressed.
Oh my god.
Thank God a woman said that. Okay. Now, okay. So what will you? Yeah, you grab one. Don't eat it until everyone has one, and we're all gonna do it on the count of 3. So go ahead, grab.
I want a big one.
Snakes.
I feel like my
It
taint
actually
has
doesn't
smelled like this before.
smell great.
It does not smell good at
So
all.
I eat it now?
No. You smell.
I eat it?
You grabbed a huge one.
Yeah, it's a 2-for-1.
What do you think? What's it smell like to you?
Oh my god,
It actually
smells.
smells like seafood somehow.
Bindi has these little bull penis toys, and that
nice.
is what the smells
I can't
like.
wait to dive
I was
in.
say it does smell like taint.
Bull penis, yes.
You did lead in with taint.
It smells like her breath after like a.
No
after chewing
snack
on
has
that.
made me throw up yet, but
I
my
don't
bad.
trust
Let's go. Let's get it.
all right,
Get
ready?
it.
You don't have to stick the whole thing in your mouth. You can
I
just take a bite.
hope
That's
not.
what he
Okay.
said.
He did
Well,
never
one
say
time,
that.
so actually,
Never
Maddie,
does that.
the episode that she was on, we were just gonna take a bite, and she was like, "We stick the whole thing in our mouth, right?" And I was like, "No, we
Wait,
don't have
me?
to
Why
do
would
that."
you do that?
No, Maddie.
Oh, I was going to say I didn't do shit. Okay, good.
And she was like, "Well, let's go all the way." And as soon as she stuck it in her mouth, she was like, "Oh." Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Oh my god, look at pepper tooth.
Yeah.
No, that's a no for
Better
me.
than the smell.
Ow.
I will finish it.
No, I was going to
Don't
say
do
it's
that.
not bad. Why are you guys being bitches?
Somehow
You
I got
guys
a
like it?
crunchy
Yeah.
part in my tooth.
It
I
doesn't
don't
taste
hate
like
it.
anything, yeah.
I've had worse chips, if that makes sense.
I feel like it tastes
God.
like if you were to soak up the bacon grease from a pan
Yeah.
with a paper towel and then
That's a
ate
good
it.
thing.
The paper towel?
That's what it tastes like to me.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree. But, like, I don't
That is
just
not
start
bad.
something and not
How
finish
do you
it.
Somehow
feel
I
about
got
it?
an air bubble shoved in between my teeth.
Oh,
Yeah.
like how
I
you're going to
don't
kill your
think
stepmom.
Miss Sandra, are you going in for?
Oh dear.
Wait, didn't you say you like pork rinds, though? Just like a
I
second
do,
ago?
but like that's not a pork rind.
Yeah, it is.
That-
It says pork skins.
I didn't tell you guys this before we
Yes,
started,
oh.
but we got that from a dollar store.
Oh, that's the
no.
taste.
So
That's
my-
the taste.
It might not even be.
If you get some
legit.
5-star pork rinds, though, that's
Yeah,
Like, it
pork
could just-
rinds like from a restaurant, good, fresh fried. Those are really good, but that is. Ow.
This is a message to all the guys out there. I'll eat anything.
That was good. That was a good one.
I'm like,
Die, bitch! Die!
No, she's gonna go throw up.
Serves you right.
I wish you could turn the camera
All
just
right,
a
guys,
little
keep
bit.
talking.
Oh no. So
Oh.
Like, can someone maybe help me?
I mean, do you need a
Are you
drink?
dying?
Do you want us to open a?
A fresh White Claw.
You look like such a grandma, and you're.
Do you need water? Oh no, it's all
Well,
gone.
so do grandmas.
Oh, Bar wants to save you.
He was right there as soon as you opened the door.
What? Jesus.
That's what.
I'll still eat any.
I'd still eat anything.
Oh my god.
If some guy was like, "Okay, would you give me a blowjob?" and you go in one time, and then you cop, you did that afterwards.
Hold on. Just give me a minute. It's pretty hot, for sure.
You're doing great.
Thanks. That hurt quite a bit. I thought
Now-
I was actually gonna die.
Wish you would have.
April, tell me if I'm wrong.
Oh my god, can't catch a break.
But how hot would it be if these two kissed right now after
No.
that whole coughing fit?
Not hot at all.
Okay, I
hot.
feel like you're not my wife anymore.
Because Kim's
I'm
always
trying-
like, yeah, kiss.
Yeah, do it. Make out for
Do it on the camera.
She is always.
I'm
like
going to
that.
watch this later.
We're not
Kidding,
even recording.
Kim.
Just do it.
I feel bad because I
What is that scratching? What are you dragging on the floor?
Did you just finish?
What the fuck?
Are you having an aneurysm over there?
Sounds like you have some like little kid's train set just dragging across the floor by your feet. Stop!
We have to start the whole episode over.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
Yes.
restart. All right.
I'll come back again.
Thank
from
you.
North
I
Dakota.
appreciate it.
Can I come
we'll
too?
do a real
No.
show.
You will
Yeah,
never
let's
come
hope
again.
not. Yeah.
What?
As
Yay,
God
gang
is
up
my
on Missy.
witness.
Y'all acting like I've been terrible. I didn't. Not bad.
I mean, that cough was fucking hilarious.
It was-
I'm not gonna lie.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah, that
Very
part where I
fucking
was
funny.
in pain.
That's what made it funny.
We
I've
all
never.
loved
Yeah,
that.
I bet. Can you do that
I don't know
some
about
more?
pain. I just like discomfort.
Well, it was extreme discomfort.
Oh, well, you said pain.
Sorry.
Both.
Ugh.
Oh, gross.
Like I was pretty scared actually. I didn't know if it was gonna come up, and it did.
I had to massage my face.
Didn't,
But no, it's
did you
fine.
swallow
Dude,
that?
the way. Okay, I do have to say.
No, it's
Okay,
just phlegm.
the fact that you have a
Just
cardigan
swallow.
on and you did that hand on the hip and one hand on the wall thing reminded me so much of my grandma.
Scram!
She yelled at me one time because I laughed because she was freaking out because she is allergic to dogs and like thought that she was gonna die because she's allergic to dogs. She's old. She exaggerates a lot of things, and so she's like, was there a dog in the house?" And I laughed, and she looks at me and goes, "Do you think I like dying?"
Yes, Grandma.
Yeah, I think you
It
do.
sounds like you like to tell people about dying.
No, I
for
laughed
sure.
super hard because what a weird question to ask somebody. Do you think I like dying?
Valid question though. It's 2019.
You're welcome to ask
Classic
me.
Grams.
It was fucking hilarious. There you go. Good job. Way to get all that air out from these pork rinds. A fucking disaster. I hate them.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
Absolutely disgusting.
One man stress.
Again?
Now, Drew,
Wow, that's
you are
really
living
funny.
in South Dakota?
North Dakota.
That's what I said.
It's all bad.
One more time?
Jamestown, North Dakota.
Jamestown, North Dakota.
It's awful. And like my only opportunity to do stand up is once a week at a really nice place in Fargo. Great room, the Cellar.
See?
But
You're
that's
currently
that's
living
it.
there?
No,
Currently living in
idiot.
Jamestown. Yeah, yeah. That's where my cats are waiting for me. And
Wait, actually?
Yes.
yeah.
You drove all the way here
Sad.
from North Dakota?
No, I drove here
No,
from
no, no, no.
Minneapolis.
Oh, okay.
I came through this weekend to go to Chicago to do visa stuff. However, the visa stuff was a big waste of time, and now I'm coming back through and staying here for one more night and leaving tomorrow.
So, but you do mics and stuff in the cities like fairly often. You drive up for all that?
No, I'm just the last couple of times I've been up, and that's only been I think twice in the last
Yeah, I was
3
gonna
months.
say this has been. I mean, you're set. So I photographed the Don't Tell comedy show for.
That's when I
You
got
need
here.
to email me, or you need to message me your email.
Yeah. Hell yeah,
I'm
we'll
glad we remembered that at the same time.
absolutely.
We did those same eyes.
yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that Don't Tell comedy show that,
That
was
was
such
so
a
much
weird
fun.
dude.
The beginning was super weird.
Did you hear that lady doing crowd work?
What, for like 20 minutes sitting on a chair just drinking a glass of wine talking about like, yeah, we're pretty much feminists. She
was one of the comedians?
No.
she was just like the manager of the location. And
Yeah.
she was like, here's an opportunity and I'm taking it. And she sat up on the stage in a
Oh,
chair and like
no.
talked to the audience as they're like coming in and like just
So I heard. I
Gross.
thought she was joking because Casey was testing out the mic and she decided to plug a microphone in at the same time he was trying to figure out sound, and he's like, test 1, test 2. And her coworker is adjusting things, and she's going, "Yeah, so what do you think of this? And he's like,
He sounds like Coach Steve from Big Mouth.
Yeah.
And she's like, now's my time to shine.
"Yeah." So,
and she went for it.
what we thought she was joking. She was like, "Do you mind if I do crowd work as people are coming in?"
Why?
And Casey's like, "Yeah, sure, do whatever you want."
It's your place. Whatever.
You own the
Literally,
place.
we're walking downstairs, I think, to meet you guys, and she's talking to no one, but doing the same stuff that she's gonna do when they come in.
Oh, no.
Practicing.
And then when she was done, she left the stage empty to silence. Like after all the audience was in
Really
there,
got
and,
him
like,
warmed up.
and then just like left the stage. And Casey was out, I don't know, going to the bathroom or something. But
Yeah,
then
yeah.
he came back up and he's like, "So she just left? She didn't say anything." And so he was up, ran up and he was like, "Hey, we're gonna get started in like 5 minutes," and then put it back down.
So we started this. It's made by women for everyone.
They had that in a sign in their bathroom. I had a joke for it, but I didn't have enough time.
The
to...
bar or the
No,
comedy
it's like an
show?
office space.
It's
So
an office
there's
space.
some office spaces that will rent out for, because there's some like do-it-yourself businesses that don't have like an actual brick and mortar like storefront.
Right.
So they'll just rent out space for meetings and random shit. So that's
Sure.
kind of what this place is like, which it was rad.
It was sweet,
I
yeah.
liked it a lot.
but they did a comedy show. And
Don't Tell is a show that's produced all over the United States, but like Casey's running the one.
Casey
here.
Flesh?
Casey
Yep.
Flesh, great dude. He's
We
running
go
the
back.
one here.
we
in
we go way
Minneapolis.
back.
And I don't. You just they pop up in different places.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I did one other one with him, and we were on like the 36th floor of some building in Minneapolis.
It's like a pop-up show. Is it like kind of like a speakeasy comedy type thing? Like you have to get an invite or through
Kind
word
of.
mouth?
Invite.
It's like you're on probably like their email list, I assume, for Don't Tell, and then you get a heads up like, hey, there's a show coming by you this date. Buy a ticket.
Super
and then-
hip.
So be available from this time to this time.
They get full though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Well, I'm
great
sure because
shows.
everyone loves being on a secret.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. The allure of being a part of something cool like that really went well. But my favorite part about when she was doing her stuff, right? So she's talking about like the job that she had before this, and then she wanted to do things that empower women. And then just before she gets off, she goes, "Got my divorce papers last week.
Mm-hmm.
Things are going great."
Yeah, I remember hearing that. It was great.
But just
It was the closest thing to a good joke she had, though.
That's the funny thing, is she thought that was actually a highlight. She was like, I know what people like. It's divorce.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
And
going to tell
pity.
everyone that I'm getting divorced. And they were like,
It was rough. It was real rough.
She sounds like she probably needs
She,
therapy,
dude,
and if
after
I'm
the
guessing,
show,
probably
it was
needs
even
to quit
worse,
drinking.
because she kept drinking throughout the show. After the show,
There
everything's
it
done.
is.
We're putting stuff away for them. She's like the manager. The assistant is helping put stuff away, and then the comics are grabbing chairs and doing stuff. And she's coming up to us like, I guess. Zach and myself. Zach was annoyed by her, I think, most, but
big
she
time.
she was like, "So what? You're just like super insecure?"
oh, yeah, that's right.
To all of us, I
Wait,
guess.
she said that to
like,
you?
why are
Yeah.
you doing comedy?
Yeah,
Because
she's like, you must be insecure. Oh, that's your masculinity. That's,
All the
that's
while,
sad. I was
I'm-
just like,
Great.
Are you, what? Are
I'm
you
trying to
talking
get a
about?
group photo of these guys. So
Yeah.
while she's doing this to them, I'm like, okay, you stand over here, you stand over there. And she wouldn't shut up. What did I do, Drew, to get her to stop talking?
God, you tell us.
Sock right in the mouth.
I farted.
Oh yeah, you did fart. I didn't know that was because of that. I thought
Yeah,
you just
it's
had a
'cause,
really nice fart to show
Like, I
off.
literally finally had everybody lined up, and she was still coming at you guys.
However, that was a super heavy fart. Like you almost laid down 2 more layers. You didn't have to. do
yeah, I
more.
didn't know that it was going to be. Normally, my ferrets are non-lethal
Fair.
and comical,
Yeah.
right? But that one, it was a
Heavy.
curtain that came over.
Oh, dude.
Not good.
No, it was heavy.
So
I mean,
bad,
it was
in
good.
fact,
but
that I was talking to another comic called me the other day, and they were like, "Hey, Casey told me that you did a really good job with the photos, and he said that he especially liked the part where you farted while you were taking pictures." I was like, "Oh, yeah,
yeah.
I don't know how to explain diffusing somebody by gassing them.
You can't. You're just gonna be known as a fart guy now.
I am the fart guy now."
Fair.
The fart guy. Well, I mean, I don't know what else to say. April, do you have any
Bye.
questions for Drew?
What are you doing in North Dakota? Why?
I'm helping family. My aunt owns a business in Fargo, and I help her Wednesday through Fridays. Then my aunt owns these 2 hotels that she's made my mom manage in Jamestown, and so I'm living in Jamestown. My mom's living at like the hotel across the parking lot, and so I help her with the both hotels. And
How far away from the Walmart are you in Jamestown?
dude? Like 5 minutes. Not
so
even.
lucky.
Not
By
even.
car?
I know
Or what?
Dude, I have a
It's
clip.
the Super 8 and the Econo Lodge.
I have a clip of me snowboarding behind that hotel.
No shit.
Yeah, for real.
That's cool as hell.
Sorry.
Small world.
It is a small world.
But yeah, so I'm out there helping family. I'm just like a good kid. And
piece of shit.
I don't know. I don't really mean that. I think I'm awful.
Sure,
But
but you're
Missy's
there like
doing that
helping
thing,
out
you know,
family.
guys that will like demean women to get them to sleep with them. They're like, oh, you're so fat. You should come to Taco Bell with me. That's
You're
what Missy's
not a
doing to
good
you.
guy. Come back to my place.
You're so
You're a
fat, nobody will love
You're
you.
a little
Want to bang?
sleazeball, aren't you?
You're a piece of shit. I hate your guts. Fuck me. Ugh.
No
That's
guy will
actually-
ever love you. Guess you'll have to settle for me.
Boom. That's right. You and the Spanish librarian.
Wow.
Reunited and we talk
Très bien.
Deutsch and Spanish.
Wait, no, it's French.
Yeah.
Très bien.
Très bien.
Je parle un peu français.
Do you speak French?
Un peu.
Je
Yeah.
travaille in...
Je travaille.
She's
Je,
been taking.
je travaille in
travaille pas.
She's
Becca.
been learning from the bird.
The-
Tell him. Tell him how the bird taught you French. Go on. Share with the group.
Please.
What?
Oh my
Like
god.
Duolingo?
Yeah. I learned by way of the bird.
What the fuck is this inside joke?
It's
What
not an
is-
inside joke. I just
You could
did
say
that.
he took me under his wing.
I just
Are you-
did
am
that
I-
right
was I
now.
right?
We're
Is it
just,
Duolingo
we're just
or the owl?
riffing. The
Yeah.
Duolingo bird?
Yeah, yeah.
The
Hell yeah.
owl?
He's an owl, not a bird.
Oh, I have
That's
not
Owls
heard
are
this.
birds.
Owls are better than a regular bird.
I'd like
I'll
to
call a
reiterate
pigeon a
that
bird.
nobody
I see
wants
an owl.
you
I don't
here.
call it a bird.
Have you heard of Duolingo?
I think it's the opposite way around.
That
Right.
teaches
You're
you.
right.
It's a
You're
free
You're
app
right.
that teaches you any language you would like. And it warns you
It is great.
with a knife when you have to do your lessons.
It warns you you've got 4 hours left to complete your lesson.
Otherwise,
then
you
it starts-
just have 4 hours.
I've
And
gotten
then
so
it just
far through
starts
it,
sending
if you
you
don't do it,
pictures
you
of like a
lose it.
Google
It's
Maps
super
thing of
fun.
it getting closer to your house.
Pictures of your family. Just
Getting closer and closer.
My family was killed by an owl who wanted me to learn French.
I love that. Actually.
I just didn't want to.
That's very fun.
that was an off the noggin between
was
me and
great.
Missy.
That counts, yeah.
Improv.
Very
Improv
good.
show.
You guys were on your way to SNL.
Thanks.
Should say more things derogatory about people. And
Yeah,
then you'll
you
really
should.
fit in there.
I can do
Yeah,
that.
how do you feel about that guy talking about Asians?
What?
At
Yeah.
the
Was he
Don't
wrong? I don't
talk
know.
show?
I actually didn't hear anything.
No, his
Like I've
name's
heard
Sam
about
SNL?
it.
something.
Gillis.
Yeah, right? Is it
Sam
Sam
Gillis. I've heard that name before.
Yeah, because he's talking shit about Asians. Because he's Asian and has red hair. So
But
apparently,
okay,
that
you've
made it
done
okay.
how many podcasts have you done now?
like 6,
Okay,
not including the awful service or whatever.
right,
but
right. So,
4.
good ones. You've done 5 or so. Do you not find that like when you're with other comics, you riff on things and you're like, we can't fucking say that?
Oh, I've been in situations like that.
Yeah.
I was
And
with
so-
Chell on Awful Service, and we were talking about Forrest Gump because he used to work at Bubba Gump Shrimp or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was saying so. We were talking about how they have to interact with the customers. It's like, wouldn't it be crazy if they said that you had to talk like Forrest Gump to your table? And he was like, no. And I was like, yeah, you're right. That's probably pretty awful. You're right. It's probably pretty bad.
But yeah, like, so at first I was like, it just sounds like this dude was trying to riff and went on a bad one. Like one that I meet too many people who are like, I don't edit my podcast. And it's like, well, you fucking should.
You should check it out.
You know
Yeah.
who Sam Gillis is? That motherfucker should have edited his podcast. Take that shit out. I listen to each podcast and I go, I can hear the audience going,
He does it like live with an audience?
no, they
Just
just
doesn't edit
don't
it.
take anything
So you
out.
film it, edit, and go.
A lot of people pride themselves on that. But if you've got like a video podcast, I think it's even sneakier to sneak things by people. Because then you can just, it looks like a camera change, but it's like you skip 20 minutes.
Yep, exactly.
So all those people
Which
we
that's
talk
gonna
shit about on
happen.
this.
I was
so
gonna
good.
say like
So
3
good.
times for sure on this one. But
I have to go now.
you have to go now?
To the bathroom or leave?
No, I go.
All right,
I have
good.
to be up.
Close that door, April. Shit's about to get real.
Yay, now we can talk shit about Missy.
Oh, dude, that's what we were saying.
That's funny. I made that joke because the window was open. And I said out the window, now that bitch Missy's gone.
And then what?
I thought I heard her go, nice. Nice.
If you guys are planning on going like another hour, I can't say super late because I get up at 4:45 in the morning.
That's disgusting.
That is
Quit your
gross.
job.
I wish.
Or just quit waking up that early.
Yeah, also that.
Nature of the job, you know. What do they call it?
What's the job?
occupational hazard.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I'm a machinist.
Where?
Don't say the actual company.
Are we on?
You a fool?
I mean,
Yes,
constantly
everything's
on.
recording.
Oh,
And that's the
no.
only thing he's not going to edit out.
No, now you have to edit it
You
out.
thought I was gonna take the Jewish stuff out.
We punched it up.
This is
Put
super
more
racist.
anti-Semitic stuff in. It's been good.
Yeah, you can't do that because
Um,
people. I have stalkers. They'll find me.
No, not do that.
Wow.
I have
That's
a few
why I have-
really
Apparently,
active
apparently everyone has a
restraining
stalker, and I'd really just like to know who mine is, because that's probably like a relationship just waiting to happen.
I didn't want to bring this up with the other guests because they're so mentally unstable.
Fair.
But I do want to say kind of, the hallmark of why this podcast is going in general is 1, booze, 2, comedy, 3, mental health
Oh, yeah.
is a big thing. And so correct me if I'm wrong. The way that you're talking about your mom and dad, are they together?
My dad's dead.
Your dad passed away. When
Dead
did he
as
pass
fuck.
away?
When I was in 2nd grade. So, 2001, I think.
Did your mother ever find somebody else?
There were like some hopefuls sometimes, but like one has just been like a really good family friend since like before my dad died, and then afterwards, like before my dad died, he had asked this guy to like watch over the family if something were to happen to him.
What happened to your father?
Major car accident. Sorry, it's not that. It was a heart attack.
You fucker! What the?
I don't know. I think a lot of people get worried when it comes to death, but it's been so long, and I've like accepted it. And like he was around still, life would probably be totally different. I might not be a comic. I'd probably be like a respectable businessman or something. I have no idea, but
You may be a half Jew. You may have joined the religion.
I may have done it. But no, he died of a heart attack. Like I remember the night real vividly.
No.
I don't remember like he didn't like die while he was at the house, but I remember the heart attack hitting. He like dropped in the kitchen, hit his head on the oven, and so like when he was in the hospital, he had just a big bruise up his face. But he was in a coma for like 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
It might not have been that long, but it felt like forever. And then I remember like the night they were pulling the plug, my mom and my sister went, and then I was over at like a friend's house because they weren't sure what was going to be the outcome. Then the next morning I woke up before school and I went home, and my sister and my mom were like, yeah, he didn't make it. I was like, okay. And I didn't like process
Didn't
it.
register.
And like a couple weeks later I came home because it would be a day that my dad would be home. And like I went looking for him and he wasn't there, and that's when it like really hit, and I was like, oh, fuck. I didn't say that, but
No, I don't.
felt it.
That's so funny that you say that because whenever I recollect stuff, I will curse, and then I'll do the same thing. I'll go, I didn't actually say that."
It's crazy. I was a child.
But dude, that's crazy. When I was in 2nd grade, that was the first time I ever saw my dad cry. Was that his father passed away?
Oh shit.
And it was violent cancer, and I was in 2nd grade. That's what made me think of that. Is like I do remember vividly like having to go to Arizona, having to stay in random hotels. I still like I don't necessarily know exactly why we were hopping around from hotel to hotel, but
Also, I remember a long stretch of being in different hotels, and I think it's because like we had a house for a while, and like my dad's like, I don't know, house insurance or whatever money was coming in, we had a house for a while, but then we had to find a new house, so we spent a couple months in different hotels in like the area so I could still go to school and stuff. But it was really weird, like going from a hotel
what
room
town did you grow up in then?
Like Apple Valley,
Okay.
Burnsville, yeah, that area. Like I grew up in Apple Valley, and then after my dad died, we moved to Burnsville.
God, I hate Burnsville.
Burnsville was fine. Yeah, I'm living in Jamestown, North Dakota right now.
I was gonna say I saw you do a shift
fine.
in your head where you're like, you assessed one town versus that, and you're like,
it's fine.
Like where I grew up and to where I've been compared to where I am, like fuck, dude, I'd rather be where I was.
it's like somebody from Somalia when the Civil War was going on, comparing it to St. Cloud, going, actually, it's not that bad.
It's fine.
I can.
I'd rather
handle,
be back. I'd rather be back.
I can
there.
handle a few racists if it means that, living in this area. But god damn, dude. So
then after that, my mom had a bunch of strokes and was in the hospital for like 6 months, in and out for 6 months.
are you kidding? Wait.
Weird.
How long after? Like, how old were you when your mom started having these strokes?
3rd grade, not even a year later. It was some crazy shit. It was weird because like after 3rd grade, after that happened in 2nd grade, my 2nd grade teacher's dad died like right after. I got into 3rd grade. My mom had these strokes. My 3rd grade teacher's dad died, and I was like, dude, I'm out here just killing people's dads. Like, I don't know what's happening. This is crazy,
dude.
I don't know.
Okay, so Jesus Christ. So you're doing the hotel dance. When did you guys end up in Burnsville then?
I mean, it wasn't long after. I remember, I think we moved in there when I was in 6th grade. I don't know how long it took to like get there. I don't know where we were. All of a sudden, it was like I was in 6th grade and I was there. Like I don't.
Oh wow.
It's a long. I think we spent a couple of years in the house still, and like we just had the money to like keep up the mortgage and shit, and then eventually we were like out. But it was a weird couple of years there. I don't remember a whole lot. We went to Vegas. That's when I saw the Blue Man Group. Fucking, they were so cool, man. They were so.
You're talking about
cool.
like pivotal moments in your upbringing. You're
But
like
this is the thing,
the
like,
Blue Man Group.
It was weird because when I was like a young kid, I really liked the spotlight. I enjoyed. I would do like an Elvis impersonation, or I go, thank you very much. But I was like a kid and all, and like the
Dude,
older
real quick,
girls
I'm
would be
gonna
like, oh
call
my
this
God.
episode "Blue Hair."
Perfect. Yeah, I think that's great.
I have to say it out loud because sometimes I forget.
So then, you'll
So then when
hear
I'm
it.
editing, I'll go, "That's right."
Right. But yeah, we went to the concert, and like before my dad died, I was very much seeking spotlight. Like my sister and her friend would create a dance, choreograph it, and then put it on for my mom and her friend. And I had nothing to do with it, but I go in the back and start like real moving, like real dancing, not that bullshit choreography that they would put on. But then, like after my dad died, I shut down in a way where I didn't like people looking at me. I didn't like dealing with stuff. And at the Blue Man Group show, they have this thing where if you cover yourself in toilet paper because they send it down the aisles after their show, it's something to do with like agreeing that everyone's shit or something like that. I don't really know what it is, but if you wrap yourself up in toilet paper, the Blue Man Group will approach you and like kiss your ticket as like an autograph and stuff.
Oh, I see.
But I was with my mom and like my half sister and my sister, and they're all wrapped up in toilet paper, and I'm just embarrassed because people are like looking, and I started crying, and meanwhile I'm crying and looking like an awful child. My mom got autographs from the Blue Man Group, and I was like, dude, like as I'm older, I'm like, man, I could have, if I would have known, but I just didn't want attention.
Mm-hmm.
And now I crave
You glazed
it.
over something.
What?
You said your half sister?
Yeah, my dad had a family before, like my family, if that makes sense.
But
And then she cheated on my dad. My dad beat up the guy. They got a divorce. My dad met my mom. His first words to her were, I bet you're so short, when you fart, you blow sand in your shoes. Or something like that. Yeah, it was like a real clever first like line, and she laughed, and then they got married, and then I was an accident. But yeah.
You know, it's funny. That was also the first line that Ryan said to me. No, I'm kidding.
I would have been like, my dad's a hack. Get out of here.
Yeah, it's just some really hacky concept.
Some
Everyone.
bullshit.
what actually happened was I shit in Ryan's shoes, and he was like, I need to ride home, and April was like,
Right in this pussy.
Wow, that got him home. Wow,
dude, Elon Musk wishes that he had the. See, this is why we're not married, April.
Yeah.
Can do all.
It makes
The
sense.
only
It makes
reason.
sense. I didn't know why before. Now I
Dude,
know.
okay, there's so many intense levels of what you're talking about when it comes to crack that bitch up.
Yeah, all right.
Your half sister went to Vegas with you, so this was your mother's child.
My dad's
Or your dad's child.
like oldest daughter, yeah, and like they were.
But
close
your
to
mother
the same
took
age.
the mantle to say, "Come to Vegas with us."
I mean, like my dad and mom, I think were married for like 16 years before stuff happened. You know.
But still, like when I'm trying to like grapple with, like, how well did you know your half sister before this trip?
Oh, really well. Like,
Okay.
like
She was a part of your life.
Oh yeah, all of my dad's like first children were a big part. Not as much my half brother, which I don't know if I'm like reading too much into this, but I think my half brother always had an issue with me because I was like the son that our dad got to spend time with.
Oh,
However, I
interesting.
didn't get to see my dad a whole lot either.
Also, April, you're supposed to say "oh" sometimes.
Yeah, it's some emotion in that. But yeah, like my experience with my dad, like there were maybe a couple basketball, baseball situations, but my main thing is like I'd wake up in the morning before kindergarten and he'd be sitting at like on a couch doing a crossword puzzle thing and watching the stocks, and I'd go and sit next to him and he'd be having a cigarette and coffee, and when he was done with the cigarette he was like, "You hungry?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then he'd make me food, and then I'd go take a nap before kindergarten, and that was some of my best memories, and that's all I really know. I never got to be mad at my dad. I never got to, I don't know, anything. He just is always just some guy in a robe that was probably too short, who would smoke cigarettes, drink coffee, watch the stocks, feed me, and then he'd go to work, and I wouldn't see him for a day or two. He was a spy. He'd kill people.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what did he do for work that he was gone?
Air traffic control.
There you go.
You don't know this about me, Drew, but father-son shit fucking destroys me.
Yeah, dude, same. Just any sort
man.
It has that effect
Thing
on
like
my
that.
dad too. Every time, you know that song Cat's Cradle or Cats in the Cradle?
That's in the cradle.
Yeah,
and the
every
silver
time he
spoon.
hears that song, he like wells up with tears.
Dude.
I get it. I
Must
always
be a
cry
dude
at who's the Louis Armstrong? What a Wonderful World.
Oh.
That was sang at my dad's funeral by a friend of his that he was like, if I die, you have to sing this song. And he was like, I'll never sing it. And then it happened. He was like, well, he always told me I had to because he had the same voice. And so whenever I hear that song, I get teary.
Dude, that's like Don't Worry by Bob Marley. This kid in our town passed away way too young. He was just a beautiful, wonderful human being, and one of his wishes was that if I ever pass away, then I want you to play this song at my funeral. And not only did they play that song at his funeral, but like his family members were like dancing down the aisle.
Dancing
I don't know if I'm
down
gonna be
the
able
aisle.
to say it. Well, because it did make sense. Like it doesn't. It's not as intense.
It's a celebration of life, not
right. Exactly.
They
went
for what's
the
happening. Yeah.
celebration of life route, and one of his aunts, as she's coming down, it was perfect timing. So it's a pretty like basic thing that they were doing, but Marley says every little thing is gonna be all right, and she was right at my pew when that came on, and she goes, I don't know how it is, but it must be, and like then kept going, and I was like, oh my god. It was horrible. He was 23,
Jeez.
21 maybe.
How did it happen?
It was a random night where it rained, and then early in the morning everything was ice, and yeah, just a fucking awful car accident.
Wow. I hate that I lied about that earlier.
No, that's okay, because you still went through something pretty fucking horrific, and everybody who goes through something horrific
cracks jokes about
you
it.
have to, especially
I keep trying
when
to find better ones, but
I
I
mean, if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me, but I feel like you are an empath as well, where you vibe on other people, and you can read and try to either relate to or just do something to try and let that person know that they're not alone, type of vibe. And I've got that from you from day one.
Oh, dude. Well, you're not wrong. You're not.
Well,
so
yeah.
I can't correct it.
Yeah, when I saw you yesterday, not having a good time.
Not having a good day. Hey, at least I was still smiling, cracking jokes.
Yeah, but I know. But
it sucks
you
to
know the same
that.
thing that I do is that you notice these
little things.
these off ticks where you're like, that's not.
You're not normally like that.
Yeah.
What's up with you? It's like, oh, it's a rough day. It's like, yeah, I can get having a rough day. Like, what's up with the rough day? The last thing I ever want to do when I hear that, because I'm sure everyone's done it. I know I have, but it's when you go, oh yeah, I get that. Yeah, I've been in a similar situation. It's like I don't want to be like that. I want to be able to relate. I want to be able to be there for you. I also don't want to take the spotlight from.
Yes.
I don't know, because it's not like they're necessarily seeking attention, but it needs to be acknowledged. And if it's not acknowledged, people don't necessarily get over it.
A big thing with me is that I feel like if somebody doesn't think that I understand what they're going through, then they don't take what I have to offer seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So I overdo it. I over-embellish. Not embellish, but like I overshare or I overdo something to where they feel like I'm taking away from what their thing is. But what I'm genuinely trying to let you know, and I would like to say thank you to Andy Matfield, is that like trying to do that thing where I'm not taking away from what you've gone through, because the story that I shared was not directly to my father.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the same thing. But it's something to at least say.
You're kind of like explaining where your empathy comes from.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very nice. Thank you, April.
You guys
That's a
getting married,
very good
or-
way of explaining
You guys
that.
gonna get married?
Engaged.
Oh my
That
God.
actually
Oh my
is
God.
that is a flaw of empaths, is that you're trying to make sure that the person knows that's what it is. I want you to genuinely know how much it hurts me that you went through that. It's not that I want to make it seem like we're the same.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to know that pain. Okay, but don't do that.
Sorry. God.
No, but that
Serious?
pain is understood, and that is what I feel, is that I want you to know that like it pains me to know that you went through that, because I think so highly of you,
Oh, dude.
because I appreciate you so much.
I appreciate you so much.
Dude, thank you for saying that.
Nice. Good
That was
call.
very good. That actually resolves some other things that I've been dealing with. That's weird that you would say that.
Being such an empath, man.
This is great. You see what what work gets done when Missy is out of the picture?
Thank God. You don't have these
Seriously.
snide comments on the side? Jeez.
You know,
I can feel free to be myself, finally. Really nice.
God damn it, Drew. I appreciate you so much.
I appreciate
And genuinely, from day one, there was just an appreciation for the way that, and this is gonna sound stupid, but like the eyes of people, like the way that they look at other people.
Red
Yeah,
and
just
slouched.
You fucking red slouch eyes.
Slouchy
No, I
eyes.
haven't smoked in an hour, so they
No.
shouldn't be that bad.
But no, what I mean to say is like when you see someone, when you make a connection with somebody, I see the uptick in you, the glee, the appreciation, the memories that you're trying to recall or whatever it may be. Like we went 2 hours, not even 2 hours without seeing each other, from the Don't Tell Me thing
Mm-hmm.
to CCU.
CCU, right.
You had the same like, hey,
Oh, hey, dude.
it's you.
Hey, man. And I knew you were going to be there and everything.
Exactly.
Like, I wasn't
That's what I'm
really
saying.
surprised. But
Like it's the concept of like you're just always glad to see somebody that you appreciate, and like
and I do appreciate
I
it very
find
much.
that
That's why I was
fantastic,
happy
man.
to see you.
I appreciate the fucking living molasses head of you. That's my new saying.
Molasses head?
The living molasses out of you.
Living molasses out of you.
That is exactly what I said.
I thought you were saying, like, I like your living molasses head, is what I heard. And I was like, do I think slow? Am I not quick
I mean,
enough?
you are.
You're semi-sweet.
Yeah. You still need a little more sugar and some cooking, but damn, you'll be
But
sir
you
up
make one
someday.
damn good cookie.
Only one. The whole batch is a piece of shit, but one cookie you at least.
One good cookie.
Dude, man, tell me what you have going on in your life,
Oh, dude,
sir.
I've got nothing. I've got a couple. things going on like South Dakota and North Dakota coming up. I was lucky enough. There's a headliner out in Fargo, Spencer Dobson, great dude. But he's invited me out to feature for him in a couple places. One of them, I didn't respond fast enough, so really I have one coming up with him. I think it's like Halloween in South Dakota.
You think it's Halloween? Be more assertive.
It's Halloween in South Dakota, but no one's going to South Dakota for it. So,
stop
but if you're out there,
But the South
look out for it.
Dakotans are going to
Yes.
be there.
I don't even know if they're real people. I'm excited to find out.
A bunch of bison are going to
But-
show up. Are there bison in South Dakota too? or
Absolutely.
just-
I
that's what
believe
thought.
they're
sure.
pronounced bison.
bison.
I would say bison.
One more
I've
time?
heard someone say bison, and I was
Bison?
like, a what? And they're like bison. I was like,
Couple
there's
bison.
I was like, there's an obvious S in the middle there, not a Z. You figure it out. But also in Jamestown, they call them buffalo, and I go, no, it's a whole different kind of animal, different location on the earth. This is a bison. You dumb pricks. But no, I've got really nothing.
Would you like those dumb pricks to come to your show?
Yeah, I would love for these
Please,
dumb pricks to go to my
come
show.
on down.
Hey, just because you're a dumb prick doesn't mean you don't have money or you're not someone fun to talk to. But no, I've got a whole lot of nothing. Being out that far, I don't have much to do.
Do you have anything in your phone? Because I can ask April a question while you look it up.
No, I've got nothing on my phone. I don't put down anything.
Oh, okay.
I don't even
Well-
save numbers. If anyone's messaged me in the last year, I probably still have their number in the message thing and not their name saved.
Oh, you're one of those people.
I just don't care.
Have you shown up to a spot when somebody said show up here and you're like, oh, I'm so glad it's you? Because I wasn't entirely sure.
I've also had a situation where I showed up to a place a week early because they said, like, come out Thursday. And I was like, Thursday? I'll be there. And then the next day it was Thursday. And I was like, what's up? Where's the party? And they're like, it's next week. And I was like, nah, I'm not going to come to the party. I've already made a fool.
April, you got anything coming up? Any things that you're excited to boot?
Well, I'm going to finish the third season of Big Mouth.
Congratulations.
Maybe take a bath later.
You need it, so fair.
And I got fucking nothing. As always.
I might be doing I have to get a new laptop first, but I might be throwing out sketches soon.
You know,
It's the
I
Super
don't know
8
if you
Life
noticed,
Drew.
but I have a lot of things.
Well, if you want to come to Jamestown and help me,
I'm not
shoot
going to
some
do
shit,
that,
yeah.
but
I
move
figured.
out of there. Get away.
After I'm done either helping or killing my family, I will move out of Jamestown and I'll come back here, or I'll go to Mexico because I'll have to get out of here. But no, I don't know. So check out that. Otherwise, find me on Facebook.
Oh, yeah. What are your Instagram handles?
Instagram and Twitter. I've recently made a little bit easier for people because it was tough. But now it's Drew Hehir, Cats Comedy. It's still bad. It used
Drew
to
what?
Hehir, my last name.
Is that how you say your last name?
That's how I say it.
Why does everyone say Drew Hehir?
Because it's easier. Growing up, I used to call it hair, or say hair. That's how like my mom and dad said it. But I met my like Irish family where the name comes
It's
from,
Hehir?
and they were like, "Wow, you're a true Hehir," and I was like, "Oh, what?" so ever since I've been Drew Hehir. But that was like freshman year in high school that I
How
figured
do you
that out.
spell your Instagram handle?
DREWHEHIR. That's just Drew Hehir, and then Cats Comedy.
Cats Comedy.
CATS Comedy.
Well, we all know how to spell cats.
Well, it's only like that because I just take a bunch of pictures of my cats and I do comedy.
Amazing.
I love my cats.
It's my kind of Instagram page.
And that's one bright side of me not going to Germany right away. I've got more time with my cats. I don't have to worry about shit right now.
There you go. April, Instagram, or Twitter, or whatever you want to throw out there.
No Twitter.
Don't find me.
Yeah, my Instagram is like private, and I deleted the app. I haven't gone on it in months. Yeah, I'm not super active on like social
Do you
media.
have any
I
books
don't.
that people should be reading right now?
Yes, actually.
What?
I just read this book and I made Ryan read it. It's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and it's quite good.
It's a great book.
I really love
Great
it.
book.
Yeah, Ryan was feeling like kind of down in the dumps, and I have it on audiobook, and like I made him listen to it, and it like instantly cheered him up because it's like a very hard, like tough love type book where they're like, you fucking suck and you
That's
need to
fine.
just get over it. Yeah. That's how it's going to be. Life sucks and you suck. And you can cry about it or you can just fucking move on with your damn self.
That's great.
It's a really good book.
a great book.
I liked it. And it's entertaining. It's, it's got entertaining stories and it's written more just like a conversation than a book. It's cool. It's a good book.
that's
Do you like Chuck
fantastic.
Palahniuk?
No, Chuck Palahniuk?
I like Palahniuk. Palahniuk.
No, I actually don't. I don't know that I don't know why I
Really?
know how to pronounce his name.
Bruh,
I don't
she
think
just
I've read
snubbed
it.
the fuck out of you.
I've never read it.
Yeah, I can pronounce his name right, but
Wait,
fuck his
Fight
work.
Club. Fight Club,
Yeah,
right?
he wrote Fight Club,
Yes,
Choke.
yes, yes.
I know. The last book I read by him was Survivor, and that was great. So if I can, he has no reason to pay me for talking about his books, but goddamn,
That's fine.
Survivor was a great book.
That's why I knew it's Fight Club. That's why.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, guys. So
Book Club starting next week.
Duck Duck Grey Duke is the name of the podcast that you're listening to.
Great podcast.
You can find us on Spotify and YouTube now. We've got 5 episodes up. 6 once this one comes up.
Wow.
On the YouTubes. And we're just, every Tuesday we have open mic night at the Nordic Brewing Co. in Monticello.
Great, Mike.
It's just okay.
Everything you touch turns to gold.
And as always, make sure that you follow the Keller mic, because there are shows happening in St. Cloud all the time. There are shows happening in Minneapolis all the time. But there are definitely never any shows happening in Jamestown, is what I wanted to make sure. No, Drew, thank you so much for coming on, homie.
Thank you for having me,
Appreciate the
man.
shit out of you. April, thank you for coming in as a guest. The last thing that we do on our show, Drew, is our listeners are called ducklings.
Of course.
Tens of listeners.
Duck.
We call them
Me,
ducklings.
my
so,
mom, my dad.
At least got a few.
Yeah.
So we say au revoir, little ducklings, quack, quack.
Au revoir, little ducklings. Quack, quack.
Au revoir. Little ducklings, quack, quack.
Do you want to do a Dutch version?
Dutch? You mean
Deutsch?
Deutsch?
Deutsch.
Deutsch.
Come on, you fucking know what I was
Auf Wiedersehen. Auf Nimmerwiedersehen. Tschüss.
Good job, everybody.